Hey everybody, John Skiba here from the Consumer Warrior YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about ways that you can pay less for your vehicle, particularly if you're upside down. If you owe more than the vehicle is actually worth, I'm going to show you how through a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, you can actually reduce the amount that you pay and still be able to keep the vehicle. If this is your first time here to my YouTube channel, please click subscribe, check on that bell. That way you'll be notified each and every week when I put out new videos that'll help you deal with your serious debt problem. I'm recording this in August of 2022. The economy is starting to soften, but lately, over the last year or so, car loans and car values have just been nuts. For the first time in probably recorded history, car values, I should say, were appreciating. Vehicles are actually becoming more valuable than after you bought them, rather than the normal where you drove it off the lot and the value went down significantly. My wife and I experienced this when we went into a dealership. The salesman met us at the door. To his credit, it was right up front. He said, just so you know, if you're looking at a new car, they charge $5,000 to $10,000 over the MSRP price. Just to be ready for this, that they're going to charge us more than they really thought more than the car value actually is. So what this is resulting is all over the country we're seeing the amount of the loan is now much more than the actual value of the vehicle. I also see this here in Arizona where I practice law with a lot of my bankruptcy clients that went out and got a car at one of these buy here, pay here places where the interest rate is just astronomical, and so the amount that's owed is much more than the actual value of the car. So the vehicle is upside down, as they say. Well, there's a way you can remedy this in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Here on the channel, I talk a lot about Chapter 7s. I'm going to tell you one of the most powerful tools as it relates to Chapter 13 bankruptcy, and that's what's called the Chapter 13 Cramdown. It even sounds powerful. And what the Cramdown is in a Chapter 13 case, procedurally how that works is you propose a plan to your creditors on how much you're going to pay them, and then once the court approves that, you just make this payment for up to 5 years. Well, in a Chapter 13, one thing that the court allows you to do is this process called the Cramdown. This is where you pay back the value of your vehicle rather than what's owed. Now, this only makes sense if you're upside down in the vehicle, if you actually owe considerably more than the vehicle's worth. But let's say, for example, that you have a car loan that you owe $25,000 on, but the car's really only worth about $15,000. What the bankruptcy code allows you to do in Chapter 13 bankruptcy is you can pay back the $15,000 over the 5 years of your Chapter 13 bankruptcy, and then the balance will be eliminated. So instead of paying the $25,000 that you owe on it, you're actually just paying what it's worth so that you don't have this upside down vehicle. Not only that, but you can reduce the interest rate. This is particularly helpful if you're in one of these buy here, pay here places where I see interest rates that are just nuts. 25, 30% and even more on a car loan. You can reduce the interest rate down to 5 to 5.5% interest for the life of your case. So you can see this will result in a huge savings to you over the life of your case, paying the vehicle off. You're not paying off a bunch of negative equity or anything like that. You're probably thinking this sounds like a pretty sweet thing if you're upside down in your car. There is a catch. You had to have purchased the vehicle more than 910 days prior to the filing of your bankruptcy. And while you may be trying to do the math like I do when I hear the 910 days, it's roughly 2.5 years. So you had to have purchased the vehicle more than 2.5 years prior to the filing of your bankruptcy for the vehicle to be eligible for the Cramdown process. You can see why the law is in place, because this is to help people avoiding, entering into a really horrible loan and then a month later going and filing a Chapter 13 bankruptcy and cramming down the vehicle price. That's helpful if you bought the vehicle more than 2.5 years ago and you're finding yourself upside down. It's a vehicle that maybe you want to keep, or you're going to struggle to get into a new vehicle. The Cramdown can save you a lot of money on that and deal with other debts like credit cards, medical bills, personal loans, and all of those types of things. If you are needing to file for bankruptcy and you want to learn about the Cramdown, or even if this is a good option in general and you're in the state of Arizona, I'd be happy to meet with you. I offer free consultations. We can go over the specifics of your case and I can help you determine if it's a good option for you. My contact information is below. Thanks for watching today.